Welcome to the world of amazing, scary animals. Henry, are you all right?
Sure. Well, no.
Why? What's happening?
It's coming to get us.
What is?
That is. Ah! Don't let it get me.
Oh, Henry.
Phew. That was scary.
You and your friends have been watching too many horror films. It was only a spider. What's to be scared of?
Well, it was... I don't know. It was just scary, okay?
Okay, Henry. But maybe you'd feel better if you knew why you were scared.
Maybe. Ah! Who turned out the lights?
You scared of the dark, too?
No. But I am scared of the animals that live in the dark, aren't you?
No, of course not. They're just animals that come out at night, that's all. They're not really scary.
Oh, yeah?
You've just decided that all these animals are dangerous without knowing anything about them.
But they look scary.
Sure they do, but it's a warning. It's just to make sure that you stay away from them.
Well, it's working.
Look, Henry, if you know what you're dealing with, then there's nothing to be scared of. Oh, get me out of here!
I thought you said...
It just took me by surprise, that's all.
Yeah, right. Scaredy cat.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you?
Henry, are you still there?
Sure. I lost something behind the sofa, that's all.
So who's a scaredy cat now?
Man, I hate spiders.
But why?
Why? You're kidding. They're hairy and stuff and legs everywhere. Oh, yuck. Anyway, everyone's afraid of spiders.
No, they're not. Loads of people know that most spiders aren't dangerous at all, even giants like this bird-eating spider.
How do you know? Don't tell me you can see into their evil little minds.
Evil minds? I think you've got a phobia about spiders, Henry.
A phobia?
Phobia. It means that you have an unfounded fear of spiders. You're an arachnophobe.
Sticks and stones may break my bones.
But spiders will always scare you, and you don't even know why.
Excuse me, I do know why. If they can eat birds, then what could they do to a lizard?
You look much more relaxed now, Henry. I mean, after that nasty scare you had.
Scared? Who? Me? Nah, I wasn't scared at all. It was just my friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're very nervous animals. That's why I brought them along here. There's nothing scary about a nice, quiet cruise.
Of course, you're right, Henry. I'm glad to see you're not worried by those old stories.
What old stories?
Oh, you know, the tales brought back by the ancient sailors of mermaids and fantastic fish and, monsters from the deep.
Yeah, right. I don't believe those old stories. Hey, what's going on? Come on, guys! We gotta get out of here!
Trust you to find a real sea serpent, Henry. Most monsters of the deep are just figments of the imagination. You know, a little like your reports.
Report? Oh no! Another sea monster!
That's no monster, Henry. That's just a little octopus.
Looks a little weird to me.
Lots of sea animals look monstrous to us just because we know so little about them. When people found weird-looking animals washed up on the beach, they'd make up monster stories about them.
So the stories about things like giant octopuses and giant squid are just stories then?
Well, yes and no.
Is that the precise answer?
Sailors did have a story about a monstrous squid they called the Kraken, a giant that dragged whole ships down to the bottom of the sea.
And that was just a story?
Maybe.
Huh?
Well, there are some squid living at very great depths that grow up to 50 feet long with eyes as big as dinner plates.
Now that's what I'd call a monster.
It sure is. And do you know, they're so big, they even fight with whales.
Excuse me, but that's amazingly scary. Maybe most of the stories about sea monsters are true. Now I know jellyfish are dangerous. That's no story. They can sting you.
They sure can, and the stings can be really painful. Some stings are so painful they can even kill.
And you say I shouldn't be scared.
Only if you're silly enough to take a swim with them. Now here's an animal that started a whole shipload of stories.
Why? Who would be scared of that? Looks like some kind of sea cow or something.
You're right. It is a sea cow, or manatee. It just goes to show how much imagination people needed to make up sea monster stories. In the old days, sailors didn't know what manatees were, so they came up with the idea that they were half fish and half woman.
What?
And that's where the story of mermaids comes from.
Those sailors spent way too much time at sea.
You're probably right, Henry. What's happened now?
Hey, it wasn't my fault. Well, at least we got away from that monster.
Okay, Henry. So are you guys going to take shelter in that cave?
Yep. Ooh, it's kind of spooky.
Oh, not again. Look, there's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing to... Ah! What are they?
Just bats, Henry. Where are you going now?
Back home to hide in the closet. It's safer.
There's nothing to be afraid of here. Just a few million bats.
I know. Rats with wings that get caught in your hair.
You don't have any hair, Henry. And bats, like these vampires, don't ever bump into things. They're too good at night flying.
Did you say vampire?
Yes.
But vampires bite your neck and suck your blood? Ah!
Yes.
Well, if that's not scary, I don't know what is. Now pass the garlic and let's get out of here.
Oh, Henry, sure they drink blood, but only tiny amounts. Losing a bit of blood isn't that dangerous. It's the diseases that vampires spread that really are dangerous.
Yeah, right. Just look at where they live. Is that spooky or what?
It's just a cave, Henry.
Ah, don't do that. Caves are dark and wet and real scary. All kinds of monsters live in caves. Dragons. Actually, dragons aren't too bad. Oh, but trolls are scary and... It's coming to get me! It's alive!
No, it's not. It's just the cave insects snacking on an old dead bat.
Don't miss much, do they? Ah! Oh, those are birds. Hey, fly for your lives! It's scary in here!
They live here, Henry. They're cave swiftlets.
Don't they know that caves are dangerous?
That's where you're wrong. These guys build their nests in caves because they're so safe.
Excuse me? How's that?
These swiftlets like the dark. They can use echolocation clicks to find their way around, just like the vampire bats. And the dark hides them from animals that might want to eat them. So you see, caves aren't as scary as you thought, are they?
Yes, they are. Can we go home now? Please?
Henry, it's time for your report. Henry, it's time for your special scary report.
What? Now?
Yes, Henry, now.
Oh.
You are ready, aren't you?
Of course I What was it about again?
You're supposed to be telling us all about how scary sharks are.
Oh, right. Here goes. Okay, so all sharks are pretty terrifying, but basking sharks are the most amazingly scary, with the biggest mouths and the sharpest teeth. How am I doing so far?
Well,
It gets better.
it's going to have to.
Anyway, in the old days, these basking sharks would cruise the oceans looking for ships that had lost their way, then sneak up underneath them and swallow them whole. But then the ships started carrying all kinds of anti-shark defenses, like very sharp sticks and fish-flavored exploding spitballs. Sharks really hate them. So the basking sharks decided to change their diet from ships to whole islands. Yeah, that's it. Just when an island was least expecting it, blam! The sharks would eat it all up. People, houses, everything. And then, when there were no more people, the sharks would jump out onto the beach and do some serious sunbathing. They'd bask in the sun all day, which is why they're called basking sharks, but they would always keep one eye out for other islands to eat. An island-eating shark, that's what I call scary, and that's straight from the lizard's mouth. So, do I get an A or what?
No, you get to stay back after the show. That has to be the worst report ever.
Didn't I even get one bit right?
Not even one.
Double rats. Excuse me. You're not gonna tell me that sharks aren't scary.
Oh no, they can be scary all right. Most of them are finely honed killing machines, but very few ever attack people. And even then, it's usually only when they've been provoked. If you stay out of the water, they're not going to get you.
Oh no! Here he comes! The basking shark! Ah!
Calm down, Henry. Basking sharks are about the most harmless sharks you can get.
Yeah, right. Look at the size of that one. It could swallow whole submarines.
No, it couldn't, Henry. They can grow up to 45 feet, longer than 4 cars, but they don't eat submarines or even lizards. All they eat is plankton.
Well, that's pretty scary for the plankton. What's plankton?
They're tiny microscopic animals that float in the sea.
And that's all basking sharks eat?
Yes, Henry, they don't even have real teeth.
But that mouth's still big enough to swallow islands, isn't it?
No, and they don't lie around on beaches either. They're called basking sharks because they sometimes swim near the surface of the water and warm up in the heat of the sun.
Ha! So they do sunbathe then.
I guess.
Just chop one up for the lizard.
What are you doing now, Henry? Oh, Henry, don't scare me like that.
I scared you? Cool! It's about time someone was frightened by me. Now, let's see who else I can frighten. Yes! I'm the scary Something smaller, maybe.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Why not? He's only little.
True, but one touch of his skin can kill. Henry! Henry, are you okay?
I guess. But how could anything that small be that scary?
Well, I guess it's because they're so small that a lot of animals out there would love to have them for lunch. So they have to protect themselves.
Yeah, but they're not too bright, are they?
What do you mean?
Well, if I was them, I wouldn't wear all those pretty colors. It's such a giveaway.
But to a predator, those colors aren't pretty. They're scary. They say, keep away. I'm dangerous.
From where I'm standing, they say, beware, fashion victim.
Yes, thank you, Henry.
You're welcome. Oh, I thought we'd done spiders.
But she's a very special spider, an Australian redback.
Why's she so special?
Oh, only because she's about 15 times more deadly than a rattlesnake. Don't worry. That bright red stripe is there to warn people about how poisonous she is.
Right, nice of her to let us know. Baby spiders! Finally, something I don't have to be scared of.
I think you do, Henry.
But they're not striped. So they're not poisonous, right?
Wrong. All spiders are poisonous, even from birth. A little baby redback spider's bite is just as poisonous as an adult's, only the babies don't give any warning.
There must be hundreds of them. Excuse me, but that's terrifying. Ah!
What?
Monster! Huh?
That's right, Henry. You were just scared of a butterfly, an owl butterfly to be precise.
I do so love it when you're precise.
Those eyelight markings fool predators, like the younger Margay cat, into thinking the butterfly is too big and scary to attack.
It certainly fooled me.
That isn't saying much.
Anyway, it fooled the Margay too, so there.
But it won't be fooled for long.
Fly away! Fly away!
Don't worry, Henry. It knows the Margay won't fall for that big eye trick again, so this time it takes to the air.
Yay! He made it!
And now, ladies and gentle lizards, it's time for Henry's Amazing Golden Gecko Awards.
The prize winners for the all-time best scary animal are... In third place is the vampire bat. It may not get in your hair, but it'll still drink your blood if it's hungry enough. In second place is the giant tarantula. It's poisonous, but not deadly. But it's still really scary. But the winner of the Golden Gecko Award for the all-time best scary animal is the army ant. Now, these guys may not look that scary until you see a close-up, that is. But you don't want to get too close to them. On their own, they're bad enough. But when you get a few million of them together, then they're the terror of the animal kingdom. A really, really aggressive little insect. Every day, swarms the size of football fields march out and rampage through the jungle. Millions and millions of them, eating anything that gets in their way. Insects, poisonous spiders, birds, mammals, sometimes snakes, maybe even lizards. Most animals get out of their way real quick, because if they didn't, they'd be food. They keep on marching and marching, and if they hear a river, they just march over the backs of their drowned comrades. Marching, marching, nothing can stop them. Animals, people, buildings, everything gets eaten by these terrifying insects.
Hold on there, Henry. Ants don't eat buildings.
They could so.
No, they couldn't. Okay, so there have been stories of swarms of ants marching on towns and killing people, but they're just stories. They really don't move fast enough to catch big animals or people.
As long as you see them coming, of course.
Right? And that's why the army ant wins the award for being the most amazing scary animal.
Anything new happening, Henry?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing scary, anyway.
Oh, no?
Are you afraid of the dark?
It's all right, Henry. It was only me.
Excuse me, but that's not very funny.
Sorry, Henry.
All right then. Ghost!
No, Henry. There are no such things as ghosts. That's really a barn owl.
Okay, so what's that then?
It's okay. It's only your reflection, Henry.
Oh, that's a relief.
Huh?
Creatures of the night.
Ah! Henry! Henry!
What?
Your reflection, it...
Now who's getting spooked?
Yeah, okay. So I don't like the dark much either.
Ha!
I know I shouldn't be scared. It's just that the night's, well, dark. Most animals prefer to come out at night, but because it's dark, we don't get to see them, and we imagine the worst.
But some of these night animals do look real scary. I mean, check out that face.
Stop it, Henry. These guys can't help what they look like. They're made like that to help them get around and find food.
Yeah, but don't you find them just a little bit scary?
All right, I admit it. I'm scared. But just remember, sometimes it can be very important to be afraid.
Really?
Sure, it's only natural to be scared of animals like the spotted hyena.
No fooling.
The fear you feel makes your body produce adrenaline.
A drain violin? Does that make it taste nasty so the hyenas won't eat you?
No, adrenaline gives you instant energy so you can run away very fast.
So being scared makes you run fast? I gotta try that at the next track meet. Whoa! Another hyena! Run away!
Actually, this brown hyena is probably as scared of those other hyenas as we are.
Nah!
Oh yeah, spotted hyenas don't like others on their patch, so the brown hyena has to dine alone.
You mean he's a scaredy hyena?
No, not really. It's just he's safer raiding an old ostrich nest.
Gotta break eggs to make an omelet.
What? Henry! Now where did that lizard go? Henry? Is that you?
Ooh!
Ah!
Hey, it was only me. Hello? Hello?
Boo!
Ah!
I knew it was you all along.
Rats.
Remember, most animals only try to be scary to make other animals leave them alone. It's not because they get a kick out of scaring people.
Oh, sure.
Oh, by the way, did you check under your bed yet?
No? Ah!
Oh, Henry, I guess you're never going to overcome your fear of amazing, scary animals.